solar news from just this month includes designs released for a car partially powered by solar energy, a Florida power company's plans to build 4 new solar plants, and China's goal to build a solar power station in space by 2050. Nebraska Extension Educator John Hay is our resident solar expert. He came by the show to give us some solar updates in the ag industry.
Well, solar has had some interesting thing happens in the past year. One of them is the new tariff on solar panels has come into effect, and really the price of solar panels went up prior to that tariff because there was a lot of fear of that tariff raising the price of solar panels. And then actually the price of solar panels has come down because really the tariff wasn't as high and as extreme as the industry thought it was going to be. And so that's a good thing in the fact that the price of solar panels has come back down to fairly low levels, enough that the price of solar has declined almost to what it was before the tax tariffs went in. And that's powerful for anybody trying to purchase, because that means that the price of solar has gotten to the place where it's becoming more and more competitive.
Do you see solar power as something that agricultural producers are interested in?
Particularly agriculture producers in some other states that have a little higher electricity prices are very interested. And then in Nebraska, it's a little more varied. Part of it is we have some low-cost electricity that is good for us, but also if you're trying to generate your own, it's a challenge. And that allows really the people that are interested are people that have other motivations, maybe motivations of being more green or clean energy, motivations of being more independent. Those types of motivations are the people we really see trying to jump into this type of thing.
And then I think that on-farm solar power, that's pretty interesting too. Could you kind of give us a quick refresher on what that is and why it'd be something that a farmer may want to consider?
Well, this is something that there are some tax benefits going on with solar. So a person who puts in solar right now can get a fairly large federal tax credit, but also a business, a farm or small business or any other business, can also depreciate that asset. And those things all help bring that price of the system down. And then the paybacks are getting low enough that they are of interest to people. And so a farm that wants to reduce their cost of electricity, their operating costs, might consider putting this in, taking those tax credits, and then once that thing's paid off, they're going to have some lower bills over time. And
how would a farmer get started on that? And how would they know if it's worth it in the long run, cost-wise?
I think it's really important to do a detailed economic analysis, and I help a lot of farmers and businesses run those analyses, not only in Nebraska but in some other states, working with some of my colleagues. And that detailed economic analysis is so important because there's so many assumptions that sometimes when you talk to some installers and others might give you some very maybe rosy assumptions. And I think those more conservative assumptions are a good way to go, where your eyes wide open. You know you have a high chance of that falling in a range of a certain economics that you're willing to go forward with. So good analysis is really where to start.
And 2019, important year for the federal tax credit. Could you speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, that federal tax credit is 30% of total installed cost, which is really important. If you put in a system that was $10,000, you'd get $3,000 in a tax credit, or scale that any size you want. But that federal tax credit is reducing at the end of 2019. So any system that goes into service after the end of 2019 does not get the 30%. It actually gets 26% in 2020, and then it goes down again to 22%, and then 10% over the next 4 years, and then eventually down. It stops at 10% for businesses, but residences it goes to 0. So this 2019, maybe even into 2020, a little beyond, is really when you want to consider this if you are for the best, because you get that tax credit.